Hello, this is Mr. Quinola, and here's part 4 of the unit circle. So, in previous episodes, we used a 30 and 45 degree rotations to get us almost all of these locations right here. And so we just need one more rotation to give us the rest of these locations. So this last one right here is 60 degrees. So this is a 60 degree rotation. And really, if you notice my worksheet, I only have 2 triangles. We don't need to make another triangle for this one because a 60 degree, if we drew another triangle right here, that would just be the same as a 30, 60, 90 triangle, just rotated. So just to make sure you know what I mean, here is the 30, 60, 90 triangle. The y value, the vertical is 1/2, and the x value or the horizontal is radical 3/2. If we rotated it, okay, the horizontal is 1/2 and the vertical is radical 3/2. So if you have this, we're just going to switch those two values because a 60 degree rotation is just a 30 degree rotation rotated. So instead of radical 3/2 being the horizontal for the 60 degree, that will be the vertical, so radical 3/2, and the x coordinate would be 1/2. So just just to remind you, we've got these two values by using a 30, 60, 90 triangle and rotating it. Okay, so that the horizontal, okay, the short side is 1/2 and the middle side is radical 3/2. So we're going to use that to get our other angles. So if we reflected this point over the y-axis, it would land right here, and that new coordinate, okay, so would be negative, because it's in the second quadrant, negative 1/2 and positive radical 3/2. Okay, and so if we look at this, if we want to get the rotation, this value, so this is a 60 degree angle and it's 30 degrees away from this 90. So we're going to move another 30 degrees this way. And so 30 plus 90 is 120 degrees. So there's the rotation. So if we went from 0 and rotated 120 degrees, we would land on negative 1/2 radical 3/2. So next coordinates that we could get, next location, if we reflected this point over the x-axis, we would end up right here on this point right there. And if we look at our notes, negative and a negative, so these two values would be negative. And so this would be negative 1/2, and this would be negative radical 3/2. Okay, and this rotation is 30 degrees away from the 270 degree rotation. So 270 minus 30 would be 240 degrees. And, okay, so then we can use this value, or we could use the original value at 60 degrees. And if we reflected over the x-axis, we would end up right here on this point right here. And this would be a positive, and this value would be a negative. So positive 1/2 and negative radical 3/2. And this is 30 degrees away from the 270 degrees. So this one would be 300 degrees. All right, look at that. So that is part 4 of the unit circle. It looks like we have all of the rotations from 0 to 360. And it looks like we have all the locations from 1, 0 all the way back. If you rotated 360 degrees, we would end up back at 1, 0. So again, just to recap, the way that we got this 60 degree location, it's just a 30 degree triangle, 30, 60, 90 triangle rotated so that this short side is vertical and the middle side is horizontal. Actually, the short side is horizontal and the middle side is vertical. So we just switch these 2 points. We switch the x value and the y value, the x coordinate and y coordinate, okay, because it's rotated. So there you go. And we use that 60 degree to get the location for the 120, because if we reflect it, and we use that to get the 240 for the reflection over the x-axis, and we could either reflect it over the y-axis to get this 300, or get that 60 and reflect over the x-axis to get a 300 degree location. There you go. There is part 4 of the unit circle.